My future mother-in-law was afraid I was after their money, so before the wedding she had the house, car, and company shares notarized as separate property. The house is mine. The car is mine. The savings are mine. Even the company's post-marriage dividends were spelled out in advance. Don't overthink it, sweetheart. We're just protecting ourselves from the wrong kind of person. Fair enough. Since your family cares so much about rules, I'll say this too. My daughter owns 2 office buildings, and we've already notarized them as her premarital property. We're just protecting ourselves too. When Chung Yan slid the prenup across the table to me, my coffee had already gone cold. Gee, take a look first. My mom just thinks it's better for everyone if we clearly separate our property before marriage. My parents paid cash for the house on the south side. The car is in my name too, plus company shares, savings, and investments. Altogether, about 15 million yuan. We're getting engaged next week, and the wedding is set for October. He asked me out because he had something important to discuss. I thought it was about renovating our future home. Turns out it was about a prenup. Altogether, about 15 million yuan. Anything else? The company was founded before marriage, so any business income earned after we marry needs to be addressed separately too. Don't worry, I'll cover the normal household expenses after we're married. 5,000 yuan a month for you should be enough. The first few pages listed his house, car, and savings. The addendum was worse. All company dividends and equity gains after marriage would be his alone. Household costs would be negotiated, and if the divorce was blamed on me, I'd get no compensation. Did your lawyer draft this? My mom found the lawyer. She's seen what can happen, so she's cautious. My uncle got divorced and his ex-wife took a lot of money. Mom's afraid I'll run into the same kind of situation. So you think I'm after your money too? Of course not. If I thought that, I wouldn't be marrying you. It's just a formality. It proves you're marrying me for love. What if I don't sign? Gee, don't put me in a tough spot. My mom already told the relatives that the Chung family has rules. If you refuse to sign, she'll definitely start wondering why. Besides, you're just a regular office employee. Once we're married, I won't treat you badly. After college, I joined a company my mother had invested in and started at the bottom as a junior project specialist. I never used my family's car or lived in the home my mother gave me. Chung Yan only knew I made 20,000 yuan a month. What he didn't know was that on my 24th birthday, my grandfather transferred 2 office buildings into my name. The rental income was steady and substantial. I'd never mentioned it. But now Chung Yan was the one putting a price tag on everything first. Fine, we can notarize it. I knew you'd be reasonable. My mom is coming at 10 tomorrow morning too. She says something this important has to be seen with her own eyes. Fine, but if we're going to separate everything, let's do it properly. Before we sign anything, both sides should provide a complete list of premarital assets. You list yours, I'll list mine. Your commuter car and those savings of yours need to go on the list too. You were the one who wanted rules, right? If we're following rules, let's not leave anything out. Mom, she agreed. See? I told you Xi wasn't the kind of girl chasing someone else's money. If she really had a problem with this, the wedding shouldn't happen. We should explain it to the relatives at the engagement dinner too, so nobody can accuse the Chung family of bullying her later. Do we really need to say it in front of everyone? Why not? Put everything out in the open and everyone can relax. See you at the property registration office tomorrow. Mom, help me find the ownership documents for those 2 office buildings. The Chung family brought up a prenup? Do they know your real situation? No. Good. Prepare the ownership documents for both office buildings. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Fang, do you want us to show these to the Chung family tomorrow too? Zheng Yuhua seated more than a dozen Chung relatives near the main table. She was clearly ready to put the Chung family's rules on display in front of everyone. No, get the notarization done first. As for the asset list, we'll save that for the engagement dinner. Your parents didn't come? This is my business. Well, that certainly makes things easier for you. Sit down. Ayan earned all of this before marriage. Of course, we paid the down payment on the house, and his father provided the startup capital for the company. Don't think we're singling you out. There are too many people with bad intentions these days. We're just being careful. The fact that you're willing to sign tells me I judged you correctly. Of course. The most important thing for a married woman is knowing how to be content. Ayan is a great catch, and the fact that he wants to marry you proves he truly loves you. Take care of the home, have a baby soon, and don't get involved in company matters you don't understand. Until yesterday, I was still making excuses for him. He was busy, and he didn't know how to handle conflict between his mother and his future wife. But staying silent at the moment that matters is a choice too. Number A035, please proceed to window 3. That's us, let's go. Business income earned after marriage has to be evaluated under the law. This agreement alone can't simply erase the other spouse's legal rights. We already asked a lawyer. Putting it in writing is still better than leaving it out. Ms. Feng, do you confirm that you understand the agreement? And are you signing voluntarily? Voluntarily. The documents still need review. I'm going to take a call. G, don't blame me for being blunt. Your family is ordinary, and your parents can't give you much of a safety net. After marriage, you'll still be relying on Ayan. As long as you behave yourself, we won't treat you badly. What exactly counts as behaving myself? Don't check your husband's phone. Don't ask about company accounts. Don't keep pushing to put your name on the deed. And your salary should be managed by the family. Young people spend too freely. I can save it for you. You want to control my salary too? Once you're one family, stop dividing everything into yours and mine. When it came to protecting their own money, every cent had clear ownership. The second it was my paycheck, suddenly it became family money. We'll talk about that later. Shri, you used to be such a sensible girl. I'm just following the rules you taught me. Whoever earns the money gets to decide what happens to it. What are you two talking about? Nothing. I'm just teaching her a few things about married life. My mom only wants what's best for us. Some documents are missing. Mr. Cheng's company had an equity change, and 2 pages of bank records are missing. Since this affects ownership, the file has to be complete. Why is this so complicated? We're doing a prenup, not a full audit. When was the equity changed? Last year. Transferred to whom? A business partner. Let's go. Paperwork these days is such a headache. But it's fine. We'll bring the missing documents next week. The engagement dinner stays on schedule, and I'll explain it to the relatives so nobody thinks the Chung family can't even protect its own property. Mom, that's enough. Did I say anything wrong? You can never be too careful with people. I'm leaving. Dri, my mom is just blunt. Don't take it personally. She's not targeting you. Got it. Ms. Fang, your notarization has been accepted and the appraisal is finished. Both office buildings are in prime business districts, the titles are clear, and there's no issue with the premarital rental income belonging to you. How soon can I get the notarized certificate? As fast as 5 business days. The engagement dinner is Saturday. That's enough time. There's one more thing. The equity change in Mr. Cheng's company last year looks unusual. About the records you asked me to verify. I found part of the trail. Who was it transferred to? On paper, a business partner, but the actual beneficiary may be related to the Chung family. Also, part of the 15 million yuan listed as company assets doesn't actually belong to Mr. Cheng. I'm sending you the ownership chart now. That person will also be at the engagement dinner. Ayan's house and car are premarital assets, and the paperwork is almost finished. We're not being stingy. Young couples should settle money matters clearly before marriage. You really thought this through. Sort out the property before marriage, and you avoid trouble later. The in-laws are here. You didn't bring gifts, did you? It's just a family meal today, no need for all that ceremony. We brought a few documents. You didn't need to bring paperwork. We've already prepared all of Ayan's documents. Come in, come in. Everyone's waiting at the main table. That's Chung Yan's father. Beside him are Aunt Chung and Uncle Chung. And by the window is Peng Chiming, supposedly a business partner. In reality, the 20% stake in his name is being held for Aunt Chung. Which means at least part of the company assets Chung Yan claims are his have unclear ownership. Why are you so late? I'm not late. My mom has been waiting forever. There are a lot of relatives here today. Don't get emotional over the prenup. I'm not making a scene? Good. My mom may say a few things later. Just listen. Our Ayan is young and successful. The marital home on the south side is worth 6 million yuan, and that car was over 800,000 yuan out the door just last year. What company does Ji work for? She works in project management. It's a decent job. A girl just needs a stable job. Stability matters most. After marriage, take care of the home so Ayan can focus on earning money. Since both families are here today, there's something I'd like to make clear. Before marriage, Ayan already owns a house, a car, a company, savings, and investments worth about 15 million yuan. We've arranged to have all of it notarized as premarital property. Let me be clear, this isn't aimed at Ji. We just believe in rules. Yes, it should be made clear. Shi doesn't object, right? May, I knew Ji was sensible. Her family is ordinary, but she's well-behaved enough. The Chung family won't mistreat her. Who told you our family is ordinary? Shi said so herself. I only said my parents run an ordinary business. Well, isn't that an ordinary family? Don't misunderstand me. Family background isn't important. As long as Ji settles down and lives properly after marrying in, we'll give her what she needs. And what exactly are you planning to give her? Wedding jewelry and a monthly allowance. Her name won't go on the house. No, and she gets no claim to company profits. Of course. What about her salary? Once they're married, they're one family. Her salary will be handed to me to manage. Mrs. Cheng, I understand your rules now. Your son gets to protect himself from my daughter, but my daughter has to hand her paycheck over to you. That's not a fair way to put it. Men earn money to support the family and women take care of the home. That's how it works. If you think that's reasonable, then we'll follow the same rules too. Mrs. Fang, today is the engagement dinner. Why did you bring all this? What is this? You notarized 15 million yuan because you're afraid my daughter wants your money. Perfect. My daughter happens to have some premarital assets too. Her car and a few $100,000 in savings. Those are worth a separate notarization too? See for yourself. Gee, why are these two office buildings registered in your name? Oh, waiter, bring a towel, please. I'm gonna clean this up in the restroom. A regular office worker owns 2 office buildings? Where did those come from? Her grandfather gave them to her on her 24th birthday. The title transfers, leases, and tax records are all here. If you don't understand them, have a lawyer verify everything. How can something gifted by an elder count as something she earned herself? That house on the south side, didn't you buy that for Chung Yan too? How much rental income do the buildings make each year? After maintenance and taxes, the rent alone is enough to cover your company's entire annual operating costs. Why did you never tell me something this big? You never asked. We're about to get married. You shouldn't have hidden this from me. I told you my family was in business, and I told you my grandfather left me some assets. You were the one who assumed I meant only a few 100,000 yuan. Even if the buildings are in Zhi's name, they'll be a married couple soon. What I said earlier was a misunderstanding. We only wanted the prenup so both sides could feel secure. That's not what you said a minute ago. You said your son's house, car, and company profits had nothing to do with my daughter, and you said her salary should be handed over to you. Why take every word so literally between future in-laws? Besides, Zhi owns so much property. Someone will need to help manage it after marriage. Ayan has business experience. He can take some of that burden off her. You just said I don't understand business and should stay out of company matters. That's different. How is it different? Zhi, I don't care about your money. I just think an engaged couple should be honest with each other. Then why weren't you honest with me about the change in your company's ownership? What ownership change? It was just a normal business adjustment. It has nothing to do with our marriage. You want all post-marriage dividends classified as your separate property. How could the ownership structure have nothing to do with me? Last year, you transferred 20% of the company to Peng Qiming, but the actual beneficiary of those shares is your aunt. You investigated us. You were the ones who demanded a complete asset list. I only verified whether that list was accurate. That's an internal Chung family arrangement. Zhi, you haven't even married in yet and you're already digging into the company. That's pretty calculating. When you investigate my daughter's salary, savings, and family background, you call it being cautious. When she checks whether your documents are true, she's calculating. The Chung family's rules really only apply to other people. Did you say something to outsiders? I didn't say anything. But since we've already gotten this far, there's something I need to make clear. Whatever it is, save it for another day. I don't want to keep holding that 20% stake for you. And the 15 million yuan on the company's books isn't all Chengyan's either. 9 million of it was already used to plug other financial holes. Peng Qiming, you've had too much to drink. I haven't had a single sip. You put my name down as a shareholder but won't let me see the full accounts. This has dragged on for a year, and I'm done taking the risk for you. You agreed to it in the first place. The bank contacted me last month. That's when I learned the company had 3 overdue payments. Don't listen to him. The company is only temporarily tight on cash. Money comes in and goes out in business. That's completely normal. If it's only temporary, then explain it clearly. Zhi's lawyer checked Chengyan's reported company assets. 6 million yuan is money other people owe the company, and nobody even knows if it can be collected. Another 9 million came from bank loans and outside investment. Once you subtract the liabilities, the company's actual net assets are nowhere near what the list claims. What right do you have to investigate the company? The company's registration records, equity changes, and court filings are all public. Anyone can look them up. So don't ask what gives me the right to check. The better question is how you have the nerve to count borrowed money as your own assets. A business can't be valued on net assets alone. Its clients and future growth have value too. Then why didn't you put the liabilities on the premarital asset list? The agreement only lists assets. If we're separating things clearly, then the debts should be listed clearly too. The company's debts have nothing to do with you. So the profits are all yours, but who pays when it loses money? Once we're married, wouldn't your debts become the family's problem too? Fang Ji, did you plan this from the start? Hide your own wealth, then send a lawyer to investigate us? Ayan, you deliberately embarrassed us in front of all these relatives. You were the one who insisted on announcing the prenup at the engagement dinner, and you invited all the Chung relatives to witness your rules. Now that the same rules apply to you, why are you blaming me? There's also a 3 million yuan payment, transferred in 4 installments to a consulting company. The contracts call it strategic service fees, but that company has 0 service records. Yuhua, what was that money used for? Normal company expenses. How should I know? That consulting company has existed for less than 2 years and doesn't have a single full-time employee. Yet Chengyan's company sends it money every few months. Even more interesting, the registered contact has been Aunt Zheng the entire time. I just answered a few calls for a friend. What friend? A business friend. What's the person's name? Stop pretending. Your mother is the real controller of that company. That's a vicious lie. That 3 million yuan from your company account was transferred out on your mother's instructions. Let him finish. You're rushing to notarize everything today because you're afraid the bride will take your assets? No. You're afraid the company's bad books will blow up and this money will be exposed, so you're moving it into Chung Yan's name as premarital property where creditors can't touch it if the company collapses. Where did the 3 million yuan actually go? I was just arranging funds for the family. The money isn't gone, it's still in our hands. Whose family? The Chung family, of course. You moved company money into a shell company you control and call that a normal arrangement? What happens when investors come demanding answers? Can you cover the consequences? That money was a reserve fund. We just parked it temporarily in another company's account. Then why wasn't it listed in the notarization documents? Because it wasn't my personal property in the first place. But you counted every asset on the company books as your personal property. Gee, we're about to get married. Do we really need to split hairs over everything? You were the one who demanded a prenup. You were the one who wanted me to waive any claim to company profits and give up compensation in a divorce. Now that your own asset list has problems, suddenly I'm being too precise? Chung Yan, do you actually want rules or do you just want rules that benefit you? I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I honestly had no idea you owned this much. So if you'd known, you never would have put that agreement in front of her. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Ji, today was all a misunderstanding. Since you and Ayan both have business assets, the original agreement wasn't thought through. We can rewrite it. The house, company, and office buildings can all be managed jointly, and Ayan can invest the rental income instead of letting it sit in an account. My assets are already notarized. The titles, rental income, and appreciation all belong to me personally. Managing 2 buildings is a lot for a young woman. Ayan will be your husband. It's only natural that he helps manage them. He's not my husband yet. What are you trying to do? Put the wedding on hold. Over one agreement? It's not about the agreement. It's about you using it to test how much I'd tolerate while never once being honest with me. I can fix the company problems. My mom will return the money she transferred. You can't throw away 3 years together over something this small. To you, hiding debt, inflating assets, and moving money around are all small things. Business is complicated, you know that. Then I'll wait until you've cleaned it up before we discuss marriage again. Zhi, stop! Zhi, don't threaten us with canceling the wedding. The hotel, wedding company, and invitations are all booked. Backing out now would humiliate both families. Our family can survive that embarrassment. Compared with marrying the wrong person, one canceled wedding means nothing. If you walk out that door today, we're really over. Mr. Dong, I just got the attachments from Cheng Yan's financing application, submitted 2 months ago. It lists 3 proposed guarantors. One person's ID ending, employer, and phone number all match Ms. Fang's information. Who signed this? Maybe finance made a mistake. Finance? They accidentally got my ID digits and workplace right too? The financing paperwork was prepared by staff below me. I don't know the details. You're the head of the company, and your signature is at the bottom of the application. Ayan, explain this right now. She hasn't even married you yet. How could you list her as a guarantor? It's only a proposed guarantor, not an actual guarantee. The financing wasn't even approved. How do you know the financing wasn't approved? Mom, stop talking. You kept accusing me of wanting the Chung family's money, while secretly putting my name into your financing paperwork. If I hadn't revealed my assets today, that debt could have landed on me sooner or later. Ms. Fang, there's something you should know. When the lender came to verify the application last month, Chung Yan told them your wedding date was fixed and said the guarantee paperwork would be completed after you registered the marriage. Peng Qiming, are you determined to blow this whole thing up? I'm not the one blowing it up. You used someone else's identity to apply for financing and expected me to help hide it. You've gotten plenty of benefits from the company, and now you're turning around and betraying us? I held that 20% stake for you for a year and never received a cent in dividends. Meanwhile, your consulting company took 3 million yuan. If we open the books, who really has more to fear? That 20% stake is mine only on paper. The company's debts aren't my responsibility. If that nominee shareholding arrangement is real, liability depends on whether he actually participated in management. Right now, the priority is finding out whether the financing was funded and how Ms. Fang's personal information was used. Preserve the evidence first. The engagement is over, and I will pursue the misuse of my identity and personal information to the end. Gee, I admit the application wasn't handled properly, but I did it to keep the company running. Once the financing came through, all the problems would have been solved. So that gave you the right to sign for me? We were about to get married. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to hurt you, and you used my name as collateral to borrow money are two completely different things. Don't leave yet. With all these relatives here, say it clearly. You agreed to the notarization yourself, and the financing was for Yan's business. Husbands and wives are supposed to support each other. They're not married. Even if they were, that still doesn't give anyone the right to forge a signature. Which one of you is Ms. Fangji? I'm the risk control manager from the financing firm. There are a few things we need to verify with you in person regarding the collateral documents submitted by Chungyan Company. The application only included the building names and approximate leased areas. There were no complete ownership documents, so we need to confirm the information directly with you. Who gave you those documents? Mr. Cheng and the company's finance department submitted them together. The documents state that Ms. Fang is Mr. Cheng's fiancée, and that after marriage, she will use her personal assets to guarantee the company. Your family owns commercial property too? I just helped the older generation manage some rentals. You went through my email. I thought it was just 1 or 2 shop floors your family managed for someone else. I didn't think much of it. Then we needed a guarantor for the financing. Finance said family assets could be used as supporting proof, so I got the idea. I happened to see it, took screenshots, and sent them to the financing firm. Who gave you the right? Zhi, I never took your property deeds, and I never actually mortgaged your buildings. It was only an asset statement. It wasn't supposed to cost you anything. I only wanted to show that the company had stable family backing. Mr. Chung, that doesn't match what you told us before. You clearly said Ms. Fang knew about the financing and that both families had already agreed. But the financing didn't get approved in the end, right? Who said it wasn't approved? The first 5 million yuan was transferred to your company 45 days ago. Under the contract, the first interest payment was due this month, and your company is already 7 days late. The company got 5 million and nobody told me? Where's the money? It was just short-term cash flow. We'll pay it back soon. Dri never signed a formal guarantee contract herself. Why are you involving her? We're reviewing the application. If Ms. Fang confirms the signature isn't hers, we'll open an internal investigation and hold the document provider responsible. Until then, Ms. Fang needs to submit a written statement. Don't make this into a huge mess. I'll pay the overdue interest tonight. Gee, just tell them we agreed before marriage to prepare these guarantee documents in advance. Say they weren't made behind your back. Then this can pass as a misunderstanding. You want me to lie for you? It's not a lie. We were going to get married anyway. After marriage, what I earn is partly yours too. Helping the company once benefits both of us. That's not what the prenup you gave me says. We can cancel the prenup, and I won't touch the rent from your office buildings. Just don't write forged signature in your statement. From now on, all communication goes through my lawyer. This engagement party is over. You can't just walk away like this. If Zhi hadn't hidden how wealthy she was, why would Yan have rushed for financing? If she'd said earlier she owned 2 office buildings, the company wouldn't have needed this 5 million at all. So my daughter's money is just supposed to bail out your son? Wouldn't they be one family after marriage? Then why are your son's house, car, and company kept so separate that she can't touch a cent of them? The day after the 5 million arrived, 2.6 million was transferred to a business consulting firm. Was that your idea too? No, it wasn't me. These are the consulting firm's bank records. That same day, the 2.6 million went to a real estate agency marked as a home purchase. Whose house? The buyer wasn't you, and it wasn't Chung Yan. The buyer was Chung Dehai. See it clearly now? That was years ago. Why bring him up now? I've spent 10 years trying to collect what he owes me, and you secretly bought him a house. He's had a hard time on his own. And honestly, I don't even know where he is. You don't know? Yet you used 2.6 million from the company to pay for his house. He contacted me first. He said his health was bad and he wanted to come back to Jiangcheng. We knew each other years ago, so I just helped him out. Knew each other? 10 years ago, he vanished with 4 million yuan, and I carried that debt for a decade. Meanwhile, you used borrowed money to buy him a house and even listed Ji as the guarantor. I didn't know the guarantee documents were fake. Yan only said Zhi's family had assets, so the financing would definitely go through. When did you find out the office buildings were mine? At the end of last year, I happened to see a leasing report on your tablet. I thought it was just a few shop floors your family managed for someone else, so I didn't think much of it. So you knew before you even proposed. Then the ring, the proposal, and all that talk about spending our lives together, how much of it was real? All of it was real. At first, I only suspected your family was well off. I had no idea you owned 2 buildings. I just wanted to use that as supporting proof to get the financing approved, to prove I was good enough for you. And using my identity as collateral was how you planned to prove yourself? I never meant for you to carry the debt. Once the project pays out, I'll repay the full $5 million. Mr. Cheng, your company claimed the project payment would arrive next quarter, but we verified that the other party already ended the partnership. The 2 procurement contracts used in your application also have issues. Those contracts were amended. They weren't fake. Whether they qualify as false documents requires further review. Ms. Fang, we'll send the written statement template to your lawyer shortly. Mr. Chung, please come to our office tomorrow morning and cooperate with the investigation. Don't leave yet. You can't abandon Yan now. If you confirm the documents are valid, the lender won't pursue it. $5 million is nothing to you. With rent from 2 buildings, what's wrong with covering the company first? 40 minutes ago, you called me a gold digger after the Chung family's money. Now you want me to cough up $5 million to plug your hole. I can apologize. Once the company gets through this, you and Yan can still get married. You misunderstood us. The wedding is off. From now on, the Chung family's assets and debts have nothing to do with me. Sui, give me 3 days. I'll get the money back and withdraw every document involving you. Then we'll rewrite the prenup. My house, car, and company income can all be shared with you. You still don't get it. I don't need your house. I need someone who won't scheme against me. Ms. Fang, we found something new. The lender received more than 1 guarantee application. They also received an electronic property authorization, and the verification code was sent to your phone on the day you took your engagement photos with Mr. Cheng. I remember that day. During the shoot, Chung Yan took my phone for a full 20 minutes, and the asset he requested authority over was one of the office buildings registered under my name. Should we go back and confront him face to face? No. Going back now would only give him time to delete evidence. Lawyer Gao, contact the financing company now and stop any further processing on that electronic authorization. They illegally used behind-the-scenes photos from your engagement shoot to fabricate documents. We've preserved the evidence and will leave the legal determination to the authorities. That's me in the photo, and the background is the dressing room from our engagement shoot. Gee, let me take a candid shot of you! He used the excuse of taking a candid photo to trick me into posing for it. So this was what he needed it for, to forge an authorization. As for the verification code, the carrier can pull the delivery records. There's more. A private seal was stamped next to the electronic signature. I've never had a personal seal made. They prepared that too. This clearly wasn't some last-minute idea. Ms. Fang, don't alert Chung Yan yet. I'll send someone over. Preserve the evidence first. The financing firm will suspend all review tonight. Okay. Once the evidence is secured, I'm going straight home to check what else he accessed.
Gee, if you'll come back and talk, the Chung family can cancel the old prenup. We'll add your name to the South City house the day you register the marriage.
How much that house is worth doesn't matter anymore. Long before the proposal, they were already treating my assets as the company's backup plan. Mom, the preservation order is done. We're going home now. I need to find out exactly how much of my personal information he's gotten his hands on. 11 p.m. The login history on my old phone showed an unfamiliar device. When did it log in? And from where? 3 months ago. The location was right near Chungyan Company. He accessed my file backups. He even looked through scans of the property transfer documents my parents handled. You used to hand Chungyan your phone. How did he know your password? Sometimes I had him reply to messages or find photos. My old phone still used my old password, and he knew it from helping me install apps before. Gee, people about to get married shouldn't keep secrets. I'll give you my password too. That's how we prove we trust each other. I never once searched his phone. He turned my trust into a key to unlock mine. Miss Fang, we found it. The authorization wasn't uploaded from your phone at all. Chungyan sent it from the finance department's computer. The verification code hit your phone, and the file was submitted 4 minutes later. On the day of our engagement photos, Chungyan had my phone for more than 20 minutes. There's another serious problem. That authorization wasn't limited to providing proof of assets. It also gave Chung Yan authority to sign on your behalf. What do you mean? Agreements transferring your rental income. This fake authorization was meant to let them dispose of your property income without permission. It has no valid legal basis. Now I finally understand why he was so desperate to dig into my lease records. He wasn't just after that 5 million yuan loan, he was after the steady rent from my office buildings year after year. Ms. Fang, are you planning to change the account that receives rent from your office building? What new account? Someone came in with your authorization and said that starting next month, all rent should be sent to a new account. They even brought stamped documents. They haven't left yet, right? They're still waiting in the conference room. The man leading them says he's your fiancé. Okay, got it. Ms. Fang, Mr. Chung brought 2 people. One is from his finance team, and the other says he's been authorized to change the account. They came with your authorization to change where the building rent gets paid. Come on, let's go meet him. Manman is beside you, right? Let her handle it too. I trust our people. Get it stamped already. Stop dragging this out. Why are you here? This is my building. Why wouldn't I be here? I was just about to call you. There's been a misunderstanding with the financing, so I came to sort out some paperwork first. Sorting paperwork requires changing where my rent gets paid? The money would still be yours. Once the financing issue is resolved, we'd transfer it right back. A temporary escrow account? The asset management company receiving the money was only formed 6 months ago, and its owner is the same person who controls your mother's consulting company. Was this your mother's idea too? This has nothing to do with my mom. The lender required us to open that account. We never appointed this company as an escrow agent. Why are you here? Ms. Fang disputed the financing documents. We have a duty to verify them. This document wasn't issued by our firm either. The transaction number belongs to a completely different project that was already terminated. Stop him. I've called the police. Nobody leaves today. He made all the documents. I only brought him here. Your company gave me the template, and your mother had someone deliver the seal. I only took 20,000 yuan for the trouble. Shut up! The transfer account belongs to the consulting company. The chats spell it out. First switch the rent account using the authorization, then use the first incoming payment for financing interest and the remaining payment on Chung Dehai's house. Let me explain. They took it too far. I only wanted to save the company, so taking my rent was also about saving the company? It was only for 2 months. Once the project paid out, I'd repay you with interest. Your 2 buildings bring in steady rent. Using a few million temporarily wouldn't affect your life, but if the company collapsed, I'd lose everything. Now I get it. My money is apparently yours to risk, so you get to decide for me. But your company can't fail, so any trick is justified, and somehow you're still the victim. Your company is your problem. From this moment on, stay away from my properties and my tenants. Give me 10 minutes alone with you. I can tell you who signed the electronic authorization. No, I didn't write your signature, and I didn't edit the photo either. Lu Man, you should admit what you did yourself. Ms. Fang, I copied your signature, but Aunt Zheng told me to. She got me hired last year as a distant cousin. At first, I only kept the books. Then Mr. Cheng ordered me to imitate your signature. I knew it was wrong, but I feared losing my job, so I saved what evidence I could. Balance the books. Copy her signature. Leave no trace. What a setup. The insider was our own accountant who handled the office building books for years. The office building in the South City CBD is entirely owned by Jai. It's fully leased, generates stable rent, and has no mortgage on record. Is there any way to prove Zuri knew about the company's financing? If we get the verification code and a photo of her holding her ID, we can submit the electronic materials first. If they later ask for the original deed, delay it by saying we'll provide it after the wedding. I accidentally recorded this when I went with Aunt Zheng to meet the accountant at a tea house. They were talking so openly that I got scared and secretly started recording. Later I realized Aunt Zheng brought me as cover. She said I was from finance, so the meeting looked legitimate. She used me as a pawn. The number you dialed is currently powered off. Go to Zheng's house and find him. Mr. Dong. The accountant took leave yesterday afternoon and said he was going back home, but his computer, ID badge, and office keys are all gone. Why would he help the Chung family? I only met him twice. The first time Aunt Zheng brought him to the company, Mr. Cheng said he was helping submit financing materials. He gave us an asset statement. I never told him to steal anything. He only said your family had stable assets and was willing to support the financing. What right did he have to represent my family? I thought he'd discussed it with your mother. You really thought that? Then why didn't you confirm it with us directly? One simple question would have killed this entire scheme. Ms. Fang, the recording was created 2 months ago at a tea house near Chengyan Company. Tech also found that on the same day, accountant Zheng downloaded the leasing report for your office building 3 times from the internal system. Revoke all of Zheng's internal access immediately. He worked for our family for 7 years. Last year when his mother was hospitalized, I even gave him an advance allowance, and he still betrayed us. Check his accounts. Mr. Dong, we can't casually investigate a private bank account, but we can start with known company transactions and public records. Tech just recovered a large batch of emails Zheng deleted before taking leave. One attachment is titled Premarital Asset Arrangement Proposal. The recipient was Zheng Yuhua. Now I finally understand. That prenup wasn't meant to intimidate me. It was meant to lower my guard, make me think they were only protecting themselves from me, and hide the fact that they'd already set their sights on my buildings. Ms. Fang, the email from 6 months ago requesting a change to the rent account was sent from Zheng's work email. The only reason it failed was that the other side called to verify it. Cheng Yan, when did you first meet him? A month before the proposal. I wanted to understand your family situation, so I found him. He contacted me first and said your mother had plans for your future marriage. What plans? He said that after marriage, you'd gradually let your husband manage the income from the office buildings. I never said anything like that. I started doubting him too, but then he showed me the leasing report and said he could help the company secure financing. So you worked with him. The company was desperate for money. I had no other choice. Funny how I had no choice is supposed to excuse every lie and every scheme. How much did you pay him? 500,000 yuan in consulting fees. Where did the money come from? The first 5 million from the financing. Of that first 5 million, 2.6 million went to the real estate intermediary, and 500,000 went to the inside accountant. After the overdue project costs, there can't be much left. Submit the complete bank statements immediately. Stop. You'd better explain this payment right now. What's this 800,000 yuan transfer? The recipient is a legal consulting firm. The note says, Marital Property Planning Services. Mr. Dong, the person running that firm is the same lawyer who drafted the Cheng family's prenup. 800,000? That wasn't just for drafting a normal prenup. It wasn't. They also designed an entire plan. What kind of plan? A plan for how, after Mr. Cheng married Ms. Fang, they could gradually move the office building rent into the company by claiming the couple jointly operated the business. I don't have the full plan, but I kept a screenshot of the first page. The first stage wasn't scheduled for after the marriage registration. It was set for the day after our engagement party. We found this in the back of Zheng's spare cabinet. He left in such a rush he forgot it. The screen wasn't locked. It has transfer screenshots and 6 months of chats between him and Zheng Yuhua. The earliest transfer was 7 months ago, from a trading company with no connection to Chengyan Company. The owner of that company once rented space in my office building, but the lease was terminated after they stopped paying rent. There's also an unsent memo. It says, the first buyer is the Cheng family. As for the second buyer, they weren't after your rental income. They wanted the right to acquire your entire office building at a low price. I knew nothing about any buyer. I only wanted to fix the company's cash problem. Cheng Yan, you first contacted Zheng a month before the proposal. You asked, what if she refuses? Zheng replied, get the marriage done first. Once you're married, there are plenty of ways to structure the assets between spouses. 3 minutes later, you replied with one sentence. Give me a plan that's airtight. A month before the proposal, Cheng Yan, you really put on one hell of a performance. At the engagement party, after seeing the notarized documents, you still demanded to know why the buildings were in my name. You played the betrayed victim so well even your own mother bought it. You weren't shocked that I owned buildings. You were shocked I'd notarized my property and wrecked the plan you'd prepared. 3 years together? Was it all a setup from the moment you proposed? You even kept your own mother in the dark because you were afraid she'd learn what the 2 buildings were worth and slip up in front of me. 3 years of acting. Weren't you exhausted? I only said those things to keep Zheng cooperative. If I hadn't played along, I couldn't have gotten the money the company desperately needed. And the 500,000 you paid him? That was to keep him cooperative too. It was an information consulting fee. You used financing money to buy my private information, then applied for financing in my name. And you call that consulting? Ms. Fang, there's one more thing. Mr. Cheng originally asked me to create a company board meeting invitation for you before the marriage registration. If you signed the attendance sheet, they could claim you'd participated in company operations. Where's the invitation? It's in my email drafts. I always felt it was wrong, so I never sent it. I didn't make that file. You emailed it to me from your private account. The record is still there. You said that after the marriage, we should find a chance to get Ms. Fang to sign it. If she refused, then use an image to create an internal record first. Stop digging. They've already found the old phone. I can't wait any longer. Didn't you just say you couldn't find the accountant? He just messaged me. I haven't even replied yet. Of the 5 million we agreed on, I want every cent of the remaining 4.5 million. 3 messages, I photographed all of them. 3 messages, 3 slaps in the face. The evidence is right in front of everyone. We've preserved all 3 messages from the accountant. The 5 million we agreed on. What exactly was that 5 million for? I don't know what he's talking about. He makes one demand, and you immediately arrange cash and a car to help him disappear? Locking the phone won't save you. Everything that needed to come out already has. Stage 1. Use the engagement to get my identity documents and asset information. Stage 2. Without my knowledge, use the rental income from one building to strengthen the company's financing application. Stage 3. After we registered the marriage, create a jointly owned management company and gradually take over the leasing business for both buildings. Once I signed any document, you'd call it joint marital management. Trying to separate it later? Too late. I never saw the full plan. Who approved the 800,000? I did. Who signed the contract? I did too. You paid the money and signed the contract, and now you claim you didn't know what it said? There's even a handwritten note on the approval form. Execute, according to the post-marriage management plan. Start stage 1 after the engagement. The handwriting matches your signature on the financing application. When was the rent originally supposed to be diverted? The day after the engagement party. But when the notarization was unexpectedly revealed at the party, they moved the plan forward. That's why they rushed to the property office this morning, hoping to change the account before the process was frozen. Yes, there was a plan, but it never succeeded. You didn't actually lose anything. You can't treat me like a criminal over a plan that wasn't completed, so it only counts as harm after the money lands in your account? Please confirm, Ms. Fang, that you never authorized Chung Yan to dispose of the office building income. I admit I rushed things, but your family's accountant was the one who designed all this. He targeted the buildings before I did. If you're going after someone, go after him first. He won't get away. And neither will you by dumping all the blame on him. Tell property security not to stop him from leaving. We have no right to detain anyone, but all relevant evidence has already been secured. He's extorting me. I never promised him 5 million. Submit the old phone records, internal download logs, and abnormal account activity together for investigation. Shi, give me one chance to fix this. I'll help find him, and I'll turn over all the company's books. What's the condition? Don't give those chat records to the financing firm yet. As long as the company can keep operating, I can repay the money. If they demand early repayment, everyone gets dragged down, including employees who knew nothing about this. Using the employees as an excuse doesn't erase what you did. You claim this was for the company, but after the financing arrived, you didn't pay overdue wages or cover the project shortfall. You paid your mother, the accountant, and a legal firm. You weren't protecting the company. You were protecting the image you'd built. Shi, I brought the money. I sold my jewelry, emptied my savings, and borrowed from relatives to scrape together 2.6 million. I'll get back the money used to buy Chung Dahai's house. If you withdraw your objection, the company can keep financing. What about the rest? The accountant has to return the 500,000 consulting fee, and we'll recover the 800,000 from the legal services firm too. And the 3 million taken by the consulting company, some of it went to family expenses. I can sell the shops and slowly make it back. That wasn't your money. You used company financing to do favors, and now you're trying to bargain with it. I was trying to save Yan. If Fang Zhi agrees to sign, every problem can be solved. You're still lying to me. 10 years ago, Cheng Dahai vanished after borrowing 4 million, and you claimed you didn't know where he was. Last month, 2.6 million from the company went through a consulting firm and a real estate agency, with Cheng Dahai named as the buyer. I suspected the truth years ago. That transfer finally confirmed it. You really thought I didn't know? What nonsense are you talking about? Nonsense! How many times did you secretly send him money while he was supposedly missing? You really thought I never knew? I only helped him out once in a while. It was small money, nothing major. He vanished with 4 million, and I carried the debt for 10 years. You secretly stayed in touch with him, used financing money to buy him a house, and pushed Yan to use his fiancé's assets to fill the hole. I thought you were just soft-hearted toward family. I never imagined you'd stopped treating this family like one. Mom, is what he said true? You and Uncle? So you kept pushing me to marry Z and get control of her assets, not for me, but to cover Chung Dahai's losses? I had no choice. He came to me with nowhere else to turn. I couldn't just watch him die out there. Zheng Yuhua, whatever marriage we had ends here. You'll get divorce papers tomorrow. The shops will be divided, the house frozen, and I'll recover every cent you transferred out. You're leaving with nothing. You can't divorce me. I've been with you for decades. Even if I don't get credit, I've still sacrificed plenty. Your sacrifices don't excuse betraying this family and draining our son's company. We're getting divorced, and every account will be settled. The Chung family will fully cooperate with the investigation. Canceling the marriage is our fault, and we're sorry to Jie. We will take responsibility for every related loss. Are you crazy? If you divorce without the Fang family's assets, the company is finished. Then let it fail. Dad, I spent years building that company. Then you should save it with your own ability, not by secretly using your fiancé's assets. This marriage is completely over. You're not going anywhere tonight. If you still want me to call you my son, stay home. They didn't even leave me anything decent. Any news on the accountant? No. It's like he vanished from Linjiang. Legal has submitted all the evidence. The rest is up to the lawyers and police. 3 years together, and it had all been a calculation from the moment he proposed. Even swapping phone passwords was just another way to snoop through my information. 3 years together, and all that remained was one blocked number. Zhui, I came to apologize. I was wrong before, and I share responsibility for what Yan did. Yan knows he was wrong. He stays home reflecting on it every day. If you're willing to step in, the company still has a chance. The company needs to go through the legal process. I can't help you. Accountant Zheng has been placed under investigation and was found at a hotel outside the city. Chengyan Company's financing was called in early, and its main operations have stopped. Chengyan's father sold some personal assets to pay the employees' overdue wages first. So it's over. Not yet. Chung Yan's father found this file box in the safe while helping company legal inventory the assets. Your name was written on the lid, so he handed it straight to us. If Fang Ji refuses to marry, activate Plan B. He had 2 plans from the start. If I rejected the proposal, the accountant would create a leasing dispute by claiming an internal data leak, while Chung Yan stayed beside me to track my schedule and reactions. If I tried to sell, they'd seek a preservation order and have their second buyer make a lowball offer while the property was tied up. What a scheme. Whether you said yes or no, he had a way to get your assets. Chung Yan was originally only supposed to get 10%. Once the marriage was complete, I would control all rental income. In that moment, I finally understood why he became so attentive after the proposal. He remembered my work schedule, offered to organize my emails, went with me to the engagement shoot, and suggested we exchange phone passwords. Every little thing that once touched me had been written into his plan. It's all in the past now. I don't want to read anymore. Handle all of these files for me. Get some rest. 3 years. It ends here. Ji, this is the final batch of settlement documents. Everything has been checked. The divorce was finalized last week. The shops were divided. The house bought for Cheng Dahai was auctioned to cover the debt, and most of the transferred money was recovered. He's moved to the old district and won't bother you again. Thank you for all your work. Our Chung family wronged you. We'll take responsibility for everything we should. Yan asked me to give you this. Ji, my feelings for you were real at first, but after I learned about the office buildings, I started calculating what marriage could bring me. By the end, I couldn't tell whether I wanted to marry you or the safety net you could give me. Even without the office buildings, he would have made the same choice when some other benefit came along. Gee, I'm sorry. I accept the apology. Then have you forgiven Yan? Some harm deserves accountability. Some relationships simply don't need to be repaired. I've restructured the company. All critical data will now be stored with tiered access controls. One more thing. From now on, the operating teams for both office buildings are officially yours to manage. I made you start at the bottom because I wanted you to learn to judge people and situations for yourself. Now I know you can stand on your own. People who are truly worth trusting don't decide how to treat you based on what assets you own. The new notarized asset documents are here. So who needs to witness them in public this time? No one. Notarization is meant to protect yourself, not humiliate someone else. Ms. Fang, the Chung family sent this over. Inside are the engagement ring and a letter. The messenger said it's the ring you left on the table at the engagement party. Return to the original address. 3 years of love bought me one moment of absolute clarity, but I didn't lose. My buildings are still mine, and I'm still standing. From today on, I decide what happens with my life.